Welcome back to Lusail International Motocross Track here in Qatar, the opening round of the FIM MX1, MX2 Motocross World Championship. My name is Paul Malin. You join us live and exclusive on MX Live TV for another historic moment, the last chance race, the first time we've had to use this format to decide the riders that go through to the Super Final. Now, the Super Final is the event that's coming up a little later on this evening. It will kick off at 23:10, 11:10 local time. We will be back on air at 11 o'clock local time. So if you're in the UK, knock 3 hours off of that, 8 o'clock. And if you're in Central Europe, that'll be 9 o'clock in the evening. The Super Final basically is made up of the top 18 riders, the top 18 finishers from MX2 Race 1 and MX1 Race 1. That gives you 36 riders. Then we have what this race is here. The last chance race, where the non-qualified MX1 and MX2 guys go into a race together, and the top MX2 and top 2 MX1 riders will go through. 4 riders in total, so we've got an even 20 riders each from MX1 and MX2. The best 20 MX1 riders and MX2 riders to fill the grid for the second race. And no, we're not looking at horses, but the local taxi service. The camels just out there doing a bit of an on-board lap for us. We'll probably catch an on-board lap later on, just before the Super Final starts. However, more serious is the riders that are in this Super Final. Let's go through the the last chance race. Let's go through the MX2 list. Max Anstey is going to be in here. Vyacheslav Golovkin of Riga Motocross team is in there. James Dunn, HM Plant KTM UK. Then also Christopher Valente, the Swiss rider on the KTM. Pascal Rauschenecker, the standing construct KTM. We've also got Dylan Ferrandis, Rockstar Bud Racing Kawasaki. Ivo Monticelli, TM Ritchie Racing. We've also got Robert Just, Arnold Tonus, but I don't think Tonus will be out. He's picked up another leg injury. Giacomo Del Segato, he's going to be in there. Marchetti Racing. Also James Cottrell, the Route 77 Energy Honda rider. Valentin Tellier, Bud Rockstar Racing Kawasaki, and Kevin Fors. See Monticelli trying to line up the inside there, 128, and Pascal Rauschenecker, 76. And the guys from MX1, just a handful, I'm afraid. Jens Getterman, Jamie Lord, Jason Dugan, August Just, and Kenny Van Duren. Process of elimination based on what we just saw from MX1 and MX2 races just a moment ago. It's 20 minutes plus 2 laps, so around about 25 minutes. Now, when you look at the start that this goes off, 21:30. By about 5 to 10, this race would have been done and dusted. And well, they've got a little bit of time to recover, so I thought it was a little bit closer than that. So about an hour, but even still, a 25-minute race directly before what's going to be another 40-minute moto. That's not what you want to do. It's a bit like going out for the B final at the Motocross of Nations on Sunday morning prior to going out for the first race. So these guys, they know what's at stake. Even though the guys in 19th and 20th onwards don't go through, the guys in 19th and 20th still pick up World Championship points from their first race. So just to clarify, the top 18 go through to the Super Final. 19th and 20th do score points to the World Championship. However, they don't qualify directly to the last chance to the Super Final. They have to go through the last chance race, which is right here, right now, about to get underway as soon as that Monster Energy 15-second board goes up. So just under 20 riders, it seems, then, going out in this, made up of MX2 majoritarily, and MX1, 5 MX1 riders going through in this race, but only the top 2 MX1, the top 2 MX2 riders go through. Got plenty of time to do something in this race. 20 minutes plus 2 laps. There's Ivo Monticelli. Number 76 is Pascal Rauschenecker. 122, Dylan Ferrandis. Then I can't quite see the next guy. It might have been the number 95 of Robert Just, or 195 Robert Just. 5-second board turns. We're getting ready to go racing here for the first time in a last chance race. Monticelli gets his nose cut off there immediately as he goes down the start straight. Valentin Tellier gets a good start, but so too does number 51 Jens Getterman and Jason Dugan. Dugan almost there with a hole shot. In fact, is he there with a hole shot? No, he's there in second position. Valentin Tellier in third, so it's Jens Getterman on a 450, the first of the MX1 guys, and Jason Dugan, the second of the MX1 guys. So at the moment, they are the guys. Oh, somebody's gone down in the wave section big time off the back there. Couldn't quite see who that was. But it's Jens Getterman, Jason Dugan, Kenny Van Duren, I think, might be there. Oh no, it's Valentin Tellier, definitely. Out of the right-hander, over the single, through the off-cambered left. Couldn't quite see the number on the back of the shirt there. It was a number 1 on the back, so could have been Christopher Valente, actually, the Swiss rider on the KTM, as everybody else goes through. There's Valentin Tellier, there's Dylan Ferrandis, so they could be the 2 leading MX2 guys going through, but here's number 51, Jens Getterman, from the MX1 class on the 24MX Honda machine, formerly LS Honda. New team graphics and new team name revealed this week. So the Belgian champion, Jens Getterman from MX2, leads away from Jason Dugan, number 85, Route 77, Energy Honda. Valentin Tellier just behind him. On the 737 Bud Rockstar Racing Kawasaki, there number 737, then Dylan Ferrandis 122, then 103 Kenny Van Duren, Max Anstey. So Anstey with a bit of work to do if he wants to close in on the 2 French guys ahead of him in the MX2 category. Getterman just there, 3 guys down from the bottom of the screen, right the way over to the left now, the 3rd guy overlooked next to Jason Dugan. Rauschenecker got a good jump on the MX2 bike, just to give you some indication then of what we might find in the Superfinal a little bit later on. So the MX2 guys got the legs on the 450s here. There's Anstey right in the centre of the screen, getting squeezed by James Cottrell, 711. On the other of the Route 77 Energy Hondas, formerly MVRD, Motorvision Racing. Here's Getterman, just needs to keep it up on 2 wheels on that 24MX Honda. Haven't seen Steve Attani, the team manager, team owner, walking around here this weekend. He might be here, but haven't seen him. But if you're watching at home, Steve, fingers crossed for you, my buddy. But Dugan is the 2nd guy there, 85, 2nd MX1 guy. Valentin Tellier still there behind him in the orange and yellow. Leading MX2 guy in 3rd place. Not an easy track. I was giving Jean Vandenberg, the former 2-time world champion, a ride back up towards the start area just prior to this race, and on one of the quads, and he was, we both in agreement that the track layout and the technical nature of the track, very choppy, very slick, very loose. Riders really having to think about what they're doing. Valentin Tellier doesn't want to stay behind Dugan for too long. Obviously Dugan can afford for Valentin Tellier, if he feels pressured, he can afford Valentin Tellier to go by him, because he would still be the 2nd MX1 rider in this race, and that would transfer him as the last MX1 guy to go to the line for the Superfinal. Valentin Tellier, though, still in 3rd. Dylan Ferrandis still in 4th. Kenny Van Duren, MX1 guy, is in 5th place. But he's out of it at the moment in terms of qualifying for the main. So too Max Anstey, the 3rd of the MX2 guys, down in 6th position in the race. So here's Dugan. He comes over the, not over the line, but the 1st of the Monster Energy tabletops. Out around time 5, turn 6, into turn 5. There's Tellier, lead MX2 guy. Dylan Ferrandis, his teammate. Wouldn't have thought I'd heard myself saying that. The 2 Bud Rockstar Racing Kawasaki's, Tellier and Ferrandis, the talents that they are, the lead 2 MX2 guys looking to transfer to the main race here. So Ferrandis in 4th, he goes through. Then we've got Anstey now, has found a way past Kenny Van Duren, and he's only about a half a second or so, maybe a second or so down off of Ferrandis. So Anstey is going to be looking to go after Ferrandis here. All right, Who's going down here? Anybody, or is that just super slow-mo? Oh, Monticelli, he got his nose chopped off going off the start line on the MX2 Richie TM, and finds himself going down in the same place that Jordi Tixier went down, about the midway point of MX2 Race 1. Here's Dylan Ferrandis. There's the flash of yellow, the Rockstar Bud Racing Suzuki Europe MX2 machine of Max Anstey. So all three MX2 guys are in the same shot here. Dylan Ferrandis coming under pressure here, number 122 from number 14, Max Anstey, who had a big crash. We didn't catch it, but it was through the wave section after the start area. Did pick himself up, looked like he knocked the wind out of his sails, but he has, what, 14 plus 2 to try and find a way past Dylan Ferrandis. Jason Dugan, meanwhile, here, number 85 on the Route 77 Honda. Coming under pressure from Valentin Tellier, but he's got actually about 6 seconds in hand over Kenny Van Duren. So Jason Dugan could let all three guys from MX2 go by him and still transfer to the super final. August Just, he is the fourth of the MX1 guys. Robert Just is the fourth of the MX2 guys. Then we've got Pascal Rauschenecker, the fifth of the MX2. So at the moment, it's Jens Getterman from Jason Dugan. They're first and second in the race. They also happen to be the first two MX1 guys in this category, in this race. Valentin Tellier, Dylan Ferrandis, Max Anstey. They are the next three, and they are the first three. But Ferrandis has lost out to Max Anstey. So Anstey goes through now, number 14. And he's going after 737, Valentin Tellier. So all change then on the second official lap in this last chance race, the last chance qualifier, if you like. Makes you wonder how hard these guys would have to try. Again, Tellier doesn't have to find a way past Jason Dugan. It won't alter his position as the lead MX2 guy at the moment. Anstey doesn't have to find a way past Valentin Tellier, but it would give him just a little bit of a safety buffer, knowing that he's the lead guy, with Dylan Ferrandis just back there knocking on the door for third. Jason Dugan, number 85, looks pretty smooth there in second position. Got Tellier there in the orange and the yellow, just here on screen, lead MX2 guy. As they pick their way through the 91-meter long wave section, dropping into turn 3. Mixture of 250s and 450s in this race, of course. MX2 and MX1 bikes, respectively. James Dunn, he's down at the back. Monticelli, we saw him go down. Matthias Plessers, Vikaslav Golovkin, James Cottrell, Jamie Law. Oh, he's the... that was 103, that was Kenny Van Duren. So Van Duren then possibly, does he lose a position? Well, not to, well, yeah, just goes through. So just losing a position to an MX1 rider. So that puts him further off the pace. Jens Getterman, though, the fastest man out here. That's him there on screen, 24 MX. Honda with a 1:52.021. He's 5.5 seconds clear at the moment of Jason Dugan, the second MX1 guy in the race. As it stands at the moment, with 11 minutes plus 2 laps to go, Jens Getterman, our race leader here on screen, number 51, and number 85, Jason Dugan, will make up the last two positions in the MX1 category for the super final. 18 riders already transferred through from the first race.
So he's away and clear. Got it, 5.9.
So extending his advantage at the head of the field then, Jens Getterman with another good time, 1:52.7 compared to the 53.2, so half a second more than Jason Dugan. He'll just be pleased to get through this. Big lad for an MX2 bike, hence the move up to MX1 and what started out as LS Honda but now is 24 MX. Here's Jason Dugan, the yellow helmet, Route 77 Energy, Honda, keeping a nice wide line, but Valentin Tellier going inside the shortest route, hoping to pick off Jason Dugan. Ground getting very slick, very loose now as it starts to dry out, and also a little bit of moisture in the middle of the desert here starting to creep in as Max Anstey going after Valentin Tellier. Tellier will know that he doesn't have to fight, and he doesn't, he yields, but then does try to fight back. But Max Anstey then goes through into second. or in third in the race, but he's now the lead MX2 guy. Number 14 on the yellow Rockstar Energy Suzuki Europe MX2 machine. That's him on the right. Going after Jason Dugan now. So good recovery really from Max Anstey after that crash. Seemed to slam himself down on the ground pretty hard and would have knocked the wind out of his sails, but took him a lap or so to get going, picked himself up, didn't hang around, went straight down to the work area, picked his mechanic up, went off to the paddock, just got himself ready, got the bike ready, just in case there were any bends and any damage to the machine. But Jens Getterman, though, still leading the race. Jason Dugan still second, that's him just going out of shot. Jason Dugan now on the yellow Suzuki and Dylan Ferrandis. So as it stands, the first four in a race, they're the four that will transfer to the main event. Anstey now in third, of course. Dylan, and 737, the guy on screen on the black Kawasaki, Valentin Tellier. He is now in fourth place. Ferrandis, what is he, about 1.5 seconds, almost 2 seconds down on his teammate. And based on the way that Valentin Tellier has ridden this circuit so far this weekend, you would have to put your money on him going through. You just saw a flash of Dylan Ferrandis coming towards the end of the start straight into that first turn in the white clothing on the black Kawasaki. Here's Jason Dugan. Up on the pegs. Just having to correct with the body just slightly there mid-air. Jamie Law, STR. So Jamie Law down in 10th place in the race. He's the fifth of 5 MX1 guys. Matthias Plessis, Latvia Elksny Honda rider, 495. So some great super slow-mo images this year. Just while we're in the closing stages of this last chance race, those of you just joining us on MX Live TV, welcome to the Losail International Motocross Circuit here in Qatar. The first time the FIM Motocross World Championship has come to the Far East, or to the Middle East, and into Qatar. The first time a World Championship event to be held under floodlights. You may notice as well that the format has changed here. This is a last chance qualifying race. The top 18 from MX2 Race 1 and MX1 Race 1. Even though the top 20 scored points, only the top 18 go through to the Superfinal. So instead of 4 live races on TV, we get 3 live races now. But the riders still do get a second motor, of course. This is what these guys in the last chance are trying to qualify for, the Superfinal, where we see the top 20 MX1 and MX2 guys. They will score points individually, and they will all count to their respective World Championship classes. Max Anstey, number 14 on the yellow Suzuki, trying to go after fellow Brit Jason Dugan. Doesn't have to pass him, he's transferred. Because in this last chance race, the top 2 MX2 and the top 2 MX1 riders will make up the numbers 37, 38, 39 and 40 that will go to the grid for the final race. So quite a mouth-watering prospect. Should see lots of intense battles. Of course, Jeffrey Hurlings will think that he can go and win. He was the fastest guy on track all weekend as Max Anstey runs alongside Jason Dugan. Valentin Tellier just there in the background, ready to pick up any pieces should there be any. But easily through in the end for Max Anstey as he goes through. So drops into second position in the race. And also puts an MX1 rider between himself and Valentin Tellier. So a nice little buffer there for Max Anstey. Enjoys riding the bike. I was talking to Thomas Ramsbacher and also Julian Lieber a little bit yesterday. And said, you know, the bike, not too many changes, maybe a little bit of chassis work here and there, but, you know, still better than the 2012 bike that was raced last year, which is always a good thing, coming into a new season, knowing that you've got a little bit more than you had before. Of course, for Max Anstey, a change in team. He was at Garibaldi Honda Racing last year. He's now a Rockstar Energy Suzuki World Europe MX2 rider. And with just over 5 minutes plus 2 to go, Max Anstey looking like he's going to be the lead MX2 guy to transfer. He's still 6.7 seconds down on Jens Getterman, though, on the 24 MX Honda, the lead MX1 guy. So as it stands at the moment, we've got an MX1, an MX2, an MX1 and an MX2. Dylan Ferrandis now losing the toe to Valentin Tellier, about 4 seconds, although he does set his fastest lap that time around with a 1:52.6. But time running out. Dylan Ferrandis looking like this Qatari Grand Prix for him is going to come to an end after one race and a non-qualifying position in the last chance race here. There's Kenny Van Duren, saw him go down earlier. 7th in the race at the moment, but 4th MX1 guy, Jamie Lord, just a couple of positions further back. There he is, that's where he goes through. Then we've got a whole bunch of MX2 guys at the back. Pascal Rauschnacker, James Cottrell, Vyacheslav Golovkin, Matthias Plessis, Ivo Monticelli and James Dunn pulled out 4 laps ago. So James Dunn not taking any further part in this race on the HM Plant KTM. Of course, Roger McGee's team. Elliot Banks-Brown, though, the lead rider in that HM Plant KTM squad, qualified quite handsomely. 12th position for him. Saw him just about 5 minutes before this race. Goggles broke, had a rock smash, and obviously couldn't get the film across, and there was mud all over the place, so he battled on, but he said it was like trying to look through one of those office windows, and he pointed to one of the office cabins down in the road race paddock. It didn't look like it had been cleaned in about, well, since MotoGP was here last. Of course, they're back here again in April. So Elliot Banks-Brown will be looking for a decent finish in the second race. Just as the clock ticks down, again, if you're just joining us, and if we don't get a chance to give the rundown, MX2 race 1 was won by Jeffrey Hurlings. Glenn Coldenhoff was second, the first time ever he's visited a World Championship podium. Third was, is this Valentin Tellier and Dylan Ferrandis? No, Jason Dugan moving aside, knows he's safe there in second position. So at the moment then, Jens Getterman, Max Anstey, Valentin Tellier, Jason Dugan has just been overtaken by Dylan Ferrandis, but he's got about 10 seconds in hand over the next guys, so Jason Dugan should be the second MX1 guy going through. So back to where we were a moment ago. 84, Jeffrey Hurlings was the winner of MX2 race 1, picking up 25 World Championship points. Glenn Coldenhoff was second. Third on the standing construct KTM. Third was 23, Christophe Charlier on the Monster Energy Yamaha. Fourth was 461, Roman Fevre on the Wilvo Nissan JM Racing KTM. Fifth was 111, Dean Ferris, Monster Energy Yamaha. Sixth was 300, Alessandro Lupino on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit CLS Kawasaki. Seventh was 911, which is Jordi Tixia on Red Bull KTM. 8th was 33, Julian Lieber. 9th was 119, Mel Pocock. And 10th was Jose Boutron. 11th was Petr Petrov. 12th, Elliot Banks-Brown. 13th was Maxim Craig. 14th, Harry Kulas. 15th was Alexander Tonkov. 16th was Stefan Olsen. 17th was Matthias Plessis. And 18th was the number 45 of Jake Nichols. Jake Nichols, though, having a crash on the first or second lap, landing a little bit awkwardly, riding with a little bit of back pain for the second race, it would appear. So we, of course, hope for Jake Nichols a little bit better success in the second race, but going to be riding with some discomfort. In the MX1 category, it was a win for Clement de Sal. Then it was Ken de Dijker. Tony Cairoli came from 13th on the first lap to get to third. Fourth was Gauthier Paulin, again came from behind. Even further back than Tony Cairoli to get to fourth and close in to within a second and a half at the finish, maybe even closer. Fifth was Bobashev. Sixth was number 22, Kevin Strybos, who led early on. Seventh was the 100 of Tommy Searle. Eighth was 24, Sean Simpson. Ninth was Rui Gonçalves. 10th was Davide Guarneri. 11th was the number 12 of Max Nagel. 12th was Stephen Crossard. 13th, Xavier Borg. 14th, Tanel Leon. 15th was Joel Roulon. 16th, Jonathan Barragan. 17th was Jeremy Van Moorbeek, and 18th was David Philipparts, picking himself up after a crash to edge out Jason Dugan in the closing stages of the race. That's why we've got Jason Dugan out here now, and that's why he's the second MX1 rider, but he will still qualify to the main event. There's Max Anstey, number 14, Rockstar Energy, Suzuki Europe machine, 3.7 seconds down on Jens Getterman at the start of lap 10, but it looks like that gap might have come down just a little bit. So Anstey just using this track time. There's Getterman, the race leader, ahead of him. He's on an MX1 bike. He's already transferred through as the lead MX1 rider to the Superfinal. And Max Anstey here, the lead MX2 guy, was in 5th place when he crashed as well, Max Anstey. So he would have been disappointed that he's had to go through via the last chance race. but got a decent enough start. Got onto the rear wheels of the fellow MX2 guys ahead of him, Valentin Tellier and Dylan Ferrandis, found a way through. Also found a way past Jason Dugan, and now sits here in second as the lead MX2 guy. No championship points for this race though. 2 laps to go. That gap still about 3 seconds between Jens Getterman and Max Anstey. Valentin Tellier, Rockstar Bud Racing Kawasaki. Comfortable now in second place, still got 5 seconds over his teammate, Dylan Ferrandis, but a little bit cutthroat this last chance race qualifying system. You know, you would love to see your teammate in there, of course, but if push comes to shove, and it's a question of you going through or your teammate going through, then of course you're going to do anything you can to edge your teammate out. And that's exactly the situation here with Dylan Ferrandis and Valentin Tellier. Jens Getterman though, got the best start. He's stayed out of trouble, kept his nose clean. And he's looking good with just over a lap to go. About a lap and a half, something like that. So the 24 MX Honda rider, just with a couple turns to go before he takes the 1 lap board. The 1 lap board goes out right now. And this 25-minute race nearing its end, its conclusion. Jens Getterman has led every single lap. However, he will be mindful of the fact that Max Anstey is now starting to close in. Getting to the stage of the race where the track is just a little bit more choppy than it was. Might be a little bit easier for the MX2 guys just to wrestle their machines around here, and that might be the key factor in this final race as well, the Superfinal, which we are coming up to. Where are we here? Local time in Qatar, 10 to 10. We're off air with this race at 10 o'clock. At 10 past 10 for MX Live viewers, we'll be back on air for our live studio show. Antonio Cairoli and Jeffrey Hurlings will both be joining us live there for a few minutes before they start to get themselves ready for their super final race. Of course, if you're on Twitter and you want to follow us on MX Live, it's hashtag MX Live TV. Of course, you can post your questions to Tony Cairoli and Jeffrey Hurlings. Start doing that now, and we'll get a couple printed off so that we know exactly where we're going with it, but might get to be the lucky person to have a question read out to both our guests. Also, Livia Lancelot, who tried to qualify here in MX2, but didn't meet the 108% qualifying time in pre-qualifying, so didn't even go out in the qualifying race. But it'd be interesting to hear her views on the circuit and the whole experience here in Qatar. And of course, whether she's looking forward to the Thai Grand Prix. But final turn, Jens Getterman takes the checkered flag, wins the first ever last chance race, and goes through as first MX1 guy to the super final. Max Anstey comes over the line in second, just 1.9 seconds behind in the end. And Max Anstey will go through as the lead MX2 guy. Valentin Tellier, he was the second guy. Dylan Ferrandis, though, yet to come through, well, 15 seconds down. So Jason Dugan, he goes through, but only just, though. August just closing right in on the end. And so there we have our 40 riders, our 40 qualifiers for the super final, which is your top 20 MX1 and MX2 guys. And it'll be a mouth-watering prospect. Of course, when we come back on air for that race, we'll explain how it works, how points are scored, and that kind of thing. But for now, though, Jens Getterman, 24 MX Honda rider. I'm sure he will enjoy taking the checkered flag here, albeit as a winner in a last chance race. But the pressure's off. He's got about 45 minutes now to go off and get himself packed and readied and rechanged and get the bike sorted, get it down to the work area, prepare for the sighting lap, all of the things, the usual things. And same too there with Max Anstey, but no problems with his fitness. I'm sure he'll come out all guns blazing, and he'll want to prove a point in that second race. When we get back to Valkenswaard on Easter weekend, it will be the normal system resumed, 2 MX1 races, 2 MX2 races. It's only for the flyaway races in 2013. So here, Thailand in a week's time, Mexico and Brazil around about May. But there's your confirmation. Jens Getterman, Max Anstey, Valentin Tellier. Dylan Ferrandis not going through, third MX2 guy, but Jason Dugan does, number 85, as the second MX1 rider. Everyone else, pack their bags. They can watch the Superfinal from the best vantage point out on the circuit and hope they can go through next weekend in Thailand. Well, here's how it went down in the last chance race. Even Monticelli didn't get a great start, but Jens Getterman did. He led every single one of the laps. Jason Dugan started there in second position, but he was coming under pressure. Not that it mattered anyway, from Dylan Ferrandis, Valentin Tellier, and of course Max Anstey. But making sure he kept a clean track. Jens Getterman stayed out of trouble up front. Max Anstey found a way past Dylan Ferrandis, and then Valentin Tellier, and then set his sights on Jason Dugan, found a way through into second position, but he'd already done enough at that point. He was the lead MX2 guy. Valentin Tellier settled on for second, 15 seconds clear of his teammate, Dylan Ferrandis. And Ferrandis, well, after a long injury layoff last year where he broke his femur at the final round in Faenza, not had too much time on the bike, but Jens Getterman, then your winner for MX1. He goes through to the main event. And so too does Max Anstey, Valentin Tellier, and Jason Dugan.